Wind howls, leaves swirl, dancing on a forgotten grave. The inscription is worn, barely visible. Samuel Blackwood, 1788 to 1852. He never forgave. Inside Blackwood Manor, dust motes dance in feeble sunlight. The Blackwood family, John, Eleanor, and their teenage daughter Amy, unpack boxes. They're weary, their faces etched with a fatigue deeper than the move. John finds an old journal, its leather cracked and dry. Eleanor, look at this. She touches the cover, a chill crawls up her arm. John, maybe we should leave it. He dismisses her concern, a forced smile. Don't be silly. He blows off dust. The pages whisper open. The first entry. The shadow grows stronger. It thirsts. John hangs a portrait above the fireplace. It depicts a stern-faced man with Blackwood eyes. Piercing blue, almost unnatural. Who's that? Amy asks. Your great-great-grandfather, I suppose, John replies, distracted by the portrait's unsettling gaze. Amy traces a pattern on the frame, a serpent consuming its own tail. What's this symbol, Dad? He examines it. A shiver runs down his spine. He recognizes it from the journal. Just an old family crest, sweetheart, he says, forcing a smile. But his gaze lingers on the serpent, a sense of unease settling in his stomach. Days turn into weeks. Unexplained events plague the Blackwoods, whispers in the dead of night, objects moving on their own. Amy sees a fleeting shadow, a figure lurking at the edge of her vision. She tells her parents, their concern growing. John tries to rationalize it away, the stress of the move. But Eleanor can't shake the feeling that something is deeply wrong. One night, a blood-curdling scream. John and Eleanor rush to Amy's room. She's huddled in a corner, eyes wide with terror. He was here, she whispers, the man from the portrait. Fear becomes a constant companion. The family is on edge, sleep evades them. John dives deeper into the journal. Each entry more disturbing than the last, speaking of a curse, a dark pact, and a price paid in blood. The entries stop abruptly, leaving the fate of his ancestor unknown. John feels a growing certainty. The entity his ancestor confronted is the same one tormenting his family now. He can't tell Eleanor and Amy the full extent of his findings. He fears it would break them. He resolves to protect them, to fight this darkness alone. But how do you fight a shadow? Section 5. The weight of whispers. The whispers grow louder, evolving into distinct voices, tormenting the family with their deepest fears and darkest secrets. Eleanor, once vibrant, is now withdrawn and haunted. Amy, once full of life, is now a shell of her former self. John, desperate for a solution, researches the family history. He discovers the Blackwood lineage is steeped in darkness, riddled with tales of madness and untimely deaths. The curse is real, and it's been passed down through generations. He realizes he can't fight this alone. He needs help, someone who understands the supernatural. He seeks out a paranormal investigator, a woman named Sarah, recommended for her knowledge of the occult. Sarah arrives at Blackwood Manor, her demeanor calm and collected. She senses the oppressive energy, the air thick with malice. She examines the house, the portrait, the journal. It's feeding on your fear, she concludes, on your guilt. She explains that the entity is tethered to the Blackwood bloodline, a consequence of a dark pact made generations ago. The price, a life for a life. The curse can be broken, Sarah says, but it requires a sacrifice, a ritual. John hesitates. The weight of her words crushing him. He's running out of time. The entity is growing stronger, and it's coming for his family. John reveals everything to Eleanor and Amy, the curse, the entity, the ritual. Eleanor, though terrified, stands strong, her love for her family outweighing her fear. Amy, however, is paralyzed by fear, the entity's hold on her stronger than ever. Following Sarah's instructions, they gather in the attic, the heart of the entity's power. The air crackles with energy. Sarah draws symbols on the floor with a white chalk, creating a barrier, a safe space within the entity's domain. The ritual is complex, dangerous. It requires a blood sacrifice, an offering to appease the entity. John steps forward, ready to offer himself. He loves his family, and he's prepared to do whatever it takes to protect them. As John prepares for the ultimate sacrifice, Amy, In a moment of clarity, fueled by love for her father, steps forward. "No, Dad," she whispers. "It wants me. It's always wanted me." The entity manifests, no longer a fleeting shadow but a grotesque figure, its eyes burning with malevolent glee. It lunges for Amy, but Sarah intercepts it, chanting an ancient incantation. The attic glows, energy swirling around them. John and Eleanor watch in horror as the entity and Sarah battle, light and shadow clashing. Amy, tears streaming down her face, realizes the truth. The blood sacrifice isn't about death, but about severing the tie. With a final desperate act, Amy uses the entity's hold on her to her advantage. She draws it into the circle, trapping them both. She completes the ritual, her blood the final ingredient. There's a blinding flash, a gut-wrenching scream, then silence. The Blackwoods huddle together, the attic quiet, the air strangely calm. The entity is gone, but at a cost. Amy is gone too. John and Eleanor are left with their grief, their unanswered questions. Did Amy sacrifice herself, or did she find a way to banish the entity and break the curse forever? The answer, lost in the whispers of Blackwood Manor, remains a chilling mystery.